My organization just concluded a change saturation assessment. And I want to show you what is really happening across many organizations today. And this is a picture that most leaders are not aware of. I am Obi Iradion, a senior change management lead. We conducted an extensive change fatigue assessment across many organizations to really see how much changes employees, managers, and executives are being asked to take on. And this picture on my screen shows exactly what we found across most organizations today. Every group, every level, and every persona is taking on more change than they can realistically handle. As you can see on my screen, leaders such as senior vice presidents, VPs, and also senior executives are currently experiencing high to very high levels of change saturation and fatigue. The same situation is happening with senior directors and directors who are also experiencing between a high and a very high level of change saturation. But the story doesn't end there. You can see, if you look down on my screen, that employees, supervisors, and frontline teams are showing the same pattern. Their saturation levels also range from high to very high. Basically, most parts of mid to very large organizations today are moving into heavier levels of change saturation. So, what does this really mean for you and your organization? It means your people are reaching their limit. They are running out of capacity to take on more changes. This data is a clear warning that your people cannot take in any more change without something breaking. Your teams are already stretched to the limit. They are juggling new systems, new processes, new tools, new priorities, and constant shifts all the time. ERP, CRM, HRIS, HCM, data transformation, process reengineering, AI, business transformation, and many more. Your people are doing their best. They are giving everything they have, but the volume and speed of change are passing what they can really take on. When people hit capacity, three things happen right away. One, their ability to learn drops. Two, their ability to adapt goes away. Three, their interest in the next change collapses. You start hearing things like, we already have too much going on, or some people will say, we don't really have time for this. Other times, when employees do not feel comfortable speaking up, they don't say anything, but they go into what is called passive resistance mode. At this point, every new initiative your organization launches is fighting for whatever mental and emotional bandwidth your employees have left. You can have the best strategy, the best technology, the best communication plan. But if your people have no capacity left, nothing sticks. This is the impact of the change saturation and change fatigue data that we just went over in the previous slide. Now, here is a key contributing factor. Organizations today are rolling out business transformations that involve many projects that are impacting the same organizational workforce. But that is okay. That is not really the biggest issue. Here is the biggest issue. The biggest issue is that most of these projects are using a siloed approach when engaging with the same impacted employees, managers, and leaders. People do not really understand how all of these changes are connected. All they see is a constant flow of change, a constant flow of communications coming from different angles, training invites coming from different project teams, invitation to be part of a change champion network from different projects. It's just so many things happening from different angles that they are not able to connect the full picture. Another key issue is this. Many organizations struggle with executive leaders frequently shifting priorities and project directions midstream, often without sufficient communication or alignment with teams. And the cost to your organization is this: change fatigue, burnout, increased resistance to change. And this is when projects lose momentum, resistance increases, and adoption fails. Change saturation is when people are faced with more change than they have the capacity to absorb. Too many changes at once, not enough time, energy, or space to keep up. That is the definition of change saturation. What about change fatigue? Change fatigue is the emotional and mental exhaustion that happens when saturation continues for too long. People shut down, people stop engaging, and people stop absorbing new change. Here's what leaders should do right away. First, check change saturation levels across your organization. You cannot manage what you cannot see. Second, you want to ensure you are spacing out major changes. Don't stack them. Sequence them so teams have room to take on each one. Three, um, you want to pause or remove low value projects. There is always activity. These are really always activities that create noise, but they often add no value. Clear out those low value activities. Fourth, support your managers. Managers are the first line of communication and the first to feel the overload. If you do not support them, you cannot support your impacted teams. Finally, give people time and breathing room. No one can take on endless change without space to recover and adjust. When leaders do these five things, capacity increases, stress drops, adoption rises, and transformation success improves dramatically. This is the part that most organizations overlook. The real blocker is not technology or strategy. The real blocker is capacity. Let me repeat that. The real blocker is not technology or strategy. The real blocker to change is capacity. Once saturation sets in, the only way to move forward is to reduce the load on people, create space, and rebuild capacity. I want to give you one more critical solution that transforms how organizations manage change saturation. Having a centralized change management office, also known as a change control tower, gives you and other leaders within your organization full visibility into every project and every initiative happening across the enterprise. A change management control tower acts exactly like an airport control tower. Instead of planes, it manages the flow of change. It tracks everything in one place. It prevents overload. It stops conflicting launches. It helps you sequence change at the right time instead of launching everything at once. And it protects your people's capacity. Organizations that implement a change control tower dramatically reduce change saturation, increase adoption, and deliver transformation more effectively. And if you want to understand how a centralized change control tower can be implemented inside your organization, reach out to me for a quick meeting. I will walk you through the best practices model and show you exactly how it can increase stability, improve visibility, and increase overall organizational adoption of new systems, new processes, policies, and business transformations. Talk to you soon. And don't forget to like this video, as that lets me know that you have received value from it. You can also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss great content like this one.